Hi all, welcome back to a channel, and yeah, another weekend, lovely British weather, which you can have a look. It's grey and crap, so we are going to try and go out in a bit. Hopefully the wind and the fog clears a little bit and the rain holds off, but in the meantime there's just a few little jobs that I want to do around the boat. So obviously you saw me doing this this little hole just out here, down there, the other week. We're going to try and finish that off, sand that back and tidy it up. Little tiny jobs, but it seems silly, but put a new plug on, just because the old one was kind of rotting away, and silly little things, but it makes it look nicer. Whoops. And we're sorting out some new hinges for here and down there to replace those. I need to get back in the engine bay again, because downside to that is I made it really heavy, adding all that extra padding. I mean, it's properly made it heavy. But now I need to put some sound deadening down there that I didn't get a chance to do, and around here where you can see the seal is, and plenty of foam tape to go around the loft hatch to create a good seal. So we're going to try and get that done in the next kind of couple of hours. High water's in 3 hours time, so we'll try and get all of that done by then, and yeah, we'll show you as we go. So I'm going to get sanding first because that needs time to dry out, that hole outside, and then I'm going down into there. So yeah, stay tuned and we'll see how it goes. So last week you saw me just put a little bit of extra filler in there, and that's settled back a bit now, so I'm just going to get on there and sand that right back, hopefully smooth it off, and if all goes to plan, give it a quick buff, quick polish, and yeah, that'll be that done. One little hole filled. So I'm going to get on with that now. So that's sanded back, so you can just see it down there now. You might be able to see all the kind of matness around it. So that's where it's all been sanded, and giving it a quick dry. So I'm just going to let it air dry for a bit longer, make sure it's fully dry. Then I'll get the polisher on it. In the meantime, I'm going to go and fix that plug that fell off earlier because it wasn't nipped up together properly, and there's a couple of new plugs for in the kitchen as well. So I will do those quickly before I get myself into the engine room. And I'll probably have some food before then as well. So quickly go and change some plugs, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, hi all. We'll come back after dinner. Back in the engine bay, as you can see. And we're going to try and get the seal on. So you can see where it's dented. This is where the loft hatch sits on this water channel all the way around. This is a drainage channel. That's the lip. And it goes all the way around the back. And in some places it touches really strongly, so we're going to put quite a bit of foam tape there, and in other places like up here you can see it doesn't touch at all really. So what we've done is we've actually closed the lid with me inside, and I've just put a mark around it so I can see where it runs, so I know where to run the tape. I have my foam tape here, which should, if you look at it, cover the entire channel lines. You probably see it better up here, look. But it should be thick enough to cover the entire channel. And yeah, so I'm now going to get that wrapped around the door, and hopefully that'll stop the last little bit of vibration and help muffle the sound as well. And after I've done that, I'm just going to put a few panels on this. This is the water tank, and it's currently empty, there's no water in it, but I think that resonates with the engines, so I think if I put some of the anti-vibration stuff on there, it'll keep that quiet. So I'm going to do that now, and yeah, we'll time lapse it and I'll be back in a bit. Hi all. So I did intend on doing this as a time lapse. In my rush to get it done, I completely forgot. So it's in real time, basically. It's not sped up. But there's a couple of things I realised that it's probably slightly better this way, because there's a few things that I'm doing that I wanted to talk you through. So if you look with this first strip, as I'm lifting it up and I position it to the start of the radius of the corner, and then I shift it back in 3 or 4 inches. and you see why later. It's for A, the join, so you're not joining on a corner, but B, it's allow me to put a piece in that is notched for the corner to get around the radius. Because if you think of a flat strip, if you just try bending it around the corner, it'll lift and crease on the inner edge, because you're saying you want 10 centimeters, for argument's sake, to go around a curve of radius that's only got a length of, say, 5 centimeters. So there's an excess 5 centimeters. So you see me in a bit playing around with a pair of scissors, and I'm cutting little chunks, little triangles out. And those little triangles are the notches to take away the excess difference in length between the outside and inside edge of a curve. So yeah, so that's what it's for. And you see as well that I kind of run it around and cover all of the press parts, but later on, towards the end, what we did, well, it's not actually in this video, but what we did afterwards was we closed the hatch again with me in it, and we looked for light areas. Now that's where the light is coming in through a crack in the lid, where the lid doesn't seal properly on. I think I've actually got maybe 10 seconds of video. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. If it's any good, I'll include it. But yeah, so there's areas of hoods, the entire kind of the hatch is twisted effectively. Now on the left side, or the left side as this video is shown, I think the twisting is down to the hydraulic ram to help it lift. The other area is on the lower right hand corner there, near the door, near the hatch to the back end. That also doesn't seal right, and you can just see that it's not touching, you know, on the silver stuff, you can't see, it's not crushed in. So yeah, I'm not sure why that's not touching right. I suspect when the teak was fitted, it looks like the hinge bolts to connect the hatch to the body, it looks like the bolts have come loose, and when the teak was fitted they never tightened the bolts up, so that section lifts a little bit when it's down. I won't spoil the fun later because we do test the sound volume levels, but I think there's a few extra bits and pieces I'm going to have to do to tinker with this a little bit. But yeah, anyway, leaving it real time is it's going to allow you guys to see that it's not actually a big job. It didn't take me hours and hours and hours to do this. It was literally like 5-10 minutes, you know, uncut and done. So yeah, it wasn't a big job at all, and it's fairly easy, because although there are a few corners which you have to notch for and allow for, it is fundamentally you just run a bit of sticky tape down a few lines. So yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, I'll just leave the next couple of minutes to play, and hopefully you see what I mean. Okay, so folks, nice and dark in here. Hopefully you can see some, but this is inside the engine bay with the hatch closed. Yeah, the hatch is closed and I've got Emma stood on top. So what I'm looking for now is around these seals that you can just see kind of there. I'm looking for light coming through like that, because where that's coming through, that means that the seal isn't sealed. So I'm going to lift the hatch up and have another look at that now, and yeah, we'll see what it is. Back shortly. So I never really explained what we were doing. What we decided to do is I'm going to leave the hatch for a week or two, just to let it bed down on that foam, make sure that it's not twisting the weight and everything, and let it bed. And then what I think I'm going to have to do is put an extra layer of foam tape around the bits where it doesn't match, to give it a little bit more thickness, because we did some tests with us both stood on the hatch in both of the areas that light were coming through, and once we seal those, it takes maybe 50% of the engine volume away. It certainly takes all the high-pitched supercharger whine and the high-end noise away, and what you're left with is just quite a muffled diesel engine, clunky diesel engine sound. So it does work, but yeah, so we're just going to do that. And what I'm doing here is I'm just getting ready to do to do the water tank, and all I'm doing is on this blue cloth it's just some meths. I'm just giving a quick wipe with meths, because although it looks clean, there's a little bit of, it's aluminium, so there's a little bit of pitting due to not corrosion but oxidization, and I'm just giving the surface wipe with meths to get any grease and oil off from the engines or coolant that might have splashed on there for when I was fanning around with the coolant systems. Just so that when I put the sound deadening on in a bit, it will really bite to it. Now if you look in the top left, there's a little pipe and a little tag that I work around. I don't know if I actually video the next bit or not, but we'll see. And yeah, you'll see me cut around those and lift them up to get in, but conveniently everything, there you go, you can see how much muck came off it. Conveniently everything kind of falls pretty nice in size wise, but you'll see shortly. Okay, so there we are, we're done. It's taken 2, 4, 6 hours exactly to do it, and we've gone in and gone up and around the water feed and behind that, and that's covered all the panels apart from the little clamps at the side. Conveniently, I have 1, 2, 3 left, so should I fancy doing anywhere else, I've got a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to need to do these. I don't think I will, but maybe. And this is the access hatch to the fuel tank, so I'm not sure if I should do that as well, because that's carbon fibre, and as you can hear, it vibrates a bit, so that might need doing, which will be 3 panels exactly. So we'll take it for a run, see how it is. But it's on now, and we've sealed the hatch lid, and we're all done. So let's see how that makes a difference sound wise. Hopefully, it's just started raining. Hopefully it will stop in a bit and we'll get a chance to go out, but we'll see. So it's just started raining, typical English summertime, and yeah, I don't know if you can see how hard it is to see out of these screens when it's raining, but yeah. And one thing you rapidly learn about old boats is their wipers are absolutely shocking. I mean, all that did was smear it, it didn't actually clear anything, and the only space it clears is about that little bit there. And yeah, that side's a little bit better, it goes up to the top of the window at least, but obviously the driver's side is on this side, so yeah, it's terrible. But what I want to do is, I've now finished all the sound deadening, so I'm going to ever so quickly roll on the engines. Just check trim. Okay. And start the port side engine. And start the starboard side engine. And got a good battery, 14 volts from both of them. Good oil pressure, probably about 80 psi, maybe a little bit over. Obviously the stone cold, and they both tick over at roughly the same. Starboard's a little bit higher than port, but now obviously you guys don't really have a comparison, but that is much quieter than it was. And actually, if I stand on the hatch to make sure it seals a bit more, it does. It's made a massive difference actually. That, yeah, I mean the loft hatch, the loft hatch, the engine room hatch is actually curved a little bit like that. The hydraulic ram pushes it up at that side, and it's not bolted down properly at that side. I can't fix that because I can't get to the bolts under there without lifting the teak. So it doesn't really seal properly in that corner, and it doesn't really seal properly in that corner. So what I might do, I'll let it to bed down for a week or two, but I might end up sticking another run of that thick foam tape around this corner and that corner to make sure it seals. So I don't know how well you can hear it, but as I move around the engine bay, you lose quite a lot of the kind of high-pitched noises. And to give you a comparison, when it's open, it sounds like this. So, yeah, ridiculously loud, I'm afraid, but that is just on tick over like this. That is much better. So, yeah, fingers crossed. We're just going to hang around for an hour, because we've still got like an hour and a half until high water. So we're just going to hang around for a bit. Let the hopefully let the rain pass, and if it looks better, we'll go get some fuel and head out for a bit. Hi folks, just had to jump in on the end here because there's no more actual video of being on the boat. Unfortunately, as is typical for British summertime, the rain never went away. In fact, it got worse. So we decided not to go out because with us not being able to take the canopies down and the wipers being so terrible, actually driving in the rain is really difficult at the moment. So we ended up not going out, and I am away with work for next weekend, so there won't be a video next weekend either. So you have a couple of weeks peace and quiet from me pinging up and rambling like a madman. Hopefully that'll give time for a few other bits and pieces to kind of catch up. So I've ordered a new chart plotter and a NEMA network kit with terminators and connection leads and everything. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks that will arrive, and I can do your video on that. Building NEMA network for the boat, because the Fusion stereo has got NEMA compatibility, as has the new chart plotter, which is a SimRad one. And then when I pull it out over the winter, I'm changing the transducer at the moment that I have for speed and temperature into a tri speed, depth and temperature one, and it'll be a smart transducer. So, but I need the boat out of the water for that, and that will connect to a NEMA network as well, so it can display its data directly on the chart plotter. And then finally I can get rid of those two separate little speed and depth logs that I have, and just have the chart plotter in one of those. On the left hand side of the kind of dash. So yeah, will be a video on that. I'm also waiting for some new canopies to arrive, which are 2, maybe 3 weeks away. The new canopies will be black, so yeah, better than the existing ones, more matching with the new hull and everything. But I'll be able to take them down, because I can't take the current ones down with that knackered. If I take them down, I'm not getting them back up, and I need to take them off because I need to polish the top of the radar arch and all down the front and the sides of it, which I can't do at the moment because I can't take the canopies off. So yeah, hopefully this couple of weeks with me being away will give everyone else that I'm waiting for a chance to catch up. And yeah, and I know someone said hilariously in one of the comments, the Humber version of Aquaholic. Unfortunately, you're not going to find me probably swimming in the Humber anytime soon.
as much as I enjoy working on the boat and going out, and there will be some boat adventures where we go out and away once we get some better weather, obviously. But yeah, don't expect anything that's like, the south coast. It just simply isn't. The Yorkshire coast is lovely, but let's face it, you've got to be nuts to swim in that. So yeah, that won't be happening anytime soon. But apart from that, take care and stay safe, everyone. And I'll see you in a few weeks. See you later.